Welcome to a Common Podcast, where we try to make common sense more common. My name's Mel.
My name's Son, and we're dumbasses and did not charge our mics.
Yeah, so we're gonna be sharing a mic for a little bit. The other one's kind of charging, so excuse our dumbassery, but your chromosome. But while his Chrome's is trying to be installed, today's topic is asking for help. But before we get into that, we're gonna talk about One Piece. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! We're about to get into. If you haven't watched One Piece, if you haven't gone to Enies Lobby, we're about to start spoiling.
Exactly.
If you haven't gone to Enies Lobby at this point and you're trying to watch One Piece, you're slacking. I'm sorry.
It's the best arc.
But let's get into One Piece.
Exactly.
Since this topic is asking for help, remember Enies Lobby when Robin out here was out on the stage and.
So Enies Lobby is my most favorite arc, right? And one of the best parts of Enies Lobby, spoiler alert as again, is that Robin goes through an extreme change. If you don't know Robin, she is essentially a child. Pardon my friend bouncing. She's essentially a child of Ohana, a land that got bombed. Oh yeah, Ohara, that got bombed. I said Ohana. Yes, because Okay. Slight tangent. Have you seen the new Lilo? It's so bad, dude. I heard about it. It's so bad.
The directors, everybody that was played a part in this movie, in the Lilo and Stitch movie, they like in the interviews, they were all just shitting on the movie. They're like, "Hey, I told Disney, let's do this," and they were like, "Ah, blah blah blah." And then the other dude was like, "Hey, I tried to tell him this," and then so literally, hell, even the fucking that one alien dude, he doesn't cross dress. He doesn't cross dress. And then there's the bad guy. He's not there. He's not there.
I'm sorry. We want the cross.
The main dude who is chasing Stitch throughout the galaxy trying to find his ass is not there. And then the biggest proponent that helps him throughout the cross-dresser, that kind of be his entire thing is disguises. They're like, hey, let's not let. They're like, hey, you know, that's kind of like, no, we're not going. That's kind of like portrays a bad message. Yeah, you fucking bastard. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch. That's
why I said Ohana. Because that was my mind.
You see, you caused a rant.
Exactly.
A rant that was not supposed to be a rant, an unplanned rant.
We need to talk about how this shit is stupid and how it is actively ruining the next generation. Because we're showing and telling people, if you don't know, by the way, Lilo and Stitch movie, the new one, ends with fucking Nani leaving Lilo in Hawaii and going to college.
Huh?
Yes. She drops her ass off.
What is this, Toy Story?
If you don't know, by the way, in Hawaii, if you're a native Hawaiian, you get free college in Hawaii University, which is it's a really good university. You get free tuition, free board, free schooling. So it makes zero sense. And it's just bullshit. It is just bullshit.
What the actual? I had to put on my glasses.
I know.
I was like, hold on.
Yeah, my misspeak has gotten us onto the subject. Anyway, back to One Piece. Robin has essentially been living her entire life scared of asking for help because she's never been given that, and she's only been hurt by that.
I mean, her entire life was like. If you don't know, Robin's entire life, spoiler alerts, she kind of grew up on the island of scholars that ended up being kind of just like genocided and G-worded. All because they knew a secret they essentially knew a little bit too much in terms of the government and how shit actually goes down. They were studying things that the government essentially said were essentially banned and illegal from studying, which essentially was just understanding the past and how the world government came to be, because it's a little fucked up, and they were trying to get away from that. But her people essentially, they were scholars and they kind of already knew how to read the ancient texts called poneglyphs and stuff like that. And for her to prove her worth to them, because at the time she's like 8-9 years old, she's like, hey, I learned how to read these poneglyphs. I'm one of you.
And her mom is one of the main scholars.
Mm-hmm. And the same day that her mom shows back up, Robin has never really seen her mom since she's been born, and because her mom's part of the Navy or whatever, and is always moving around doing all this stuff. But her mom's also secretly trying to say fuck the Navy because they'd be doing fuck shit. because she's also from Ohio, so she's like, I know exactly what be going on, but I'm just here essentially just because it provides protection. But she be she shows up, sees Robin. She knows directly that that's her daughter, and Robin knows directly that that's her mom, but they don't fully acknowledge it to each other. And before they even start to truly get acquainted again, the world government shows up and starts bombing the fuck out of her island, killing everybody. Like, like they're trying to get, like they're essentially just G-wording this island, getting rid of everybody, everyone, anyone who even knows a shred of history.
Saul and Robin, right?
Saul and Robin survive, and even then, Robin. Even more spoilers if you're not caught up to Egghead and fucking not even Egghead, Albath, the most current one. Saul is still alive. Spoilers. We thought he was dead, so we thought that Robin was the only sole survivor, but actually both her and Saul survived. So when seeing her see Saul and fucking Elbath was kind of that shit was solid.
We truly see like Saul sacrifice. Saul has
Dumbass.
Fuck you. We see that Saul has sacrificed himself for Robin, right? So essentially, in Ina's lobby, Robin, for the first time in her life, admits, screaming to Luffy, I need help. Please help me. You know? And I think that's a major thing that we today should still continue to learn from.
And even then, it took Luffy telling her like thrice, being like, "Hey, say you want to
live," and she says, "I want to live."
And she starts crying because no one ever really cared about what she wanted beforehand, and like no one really cared if she lives beforehand. Like she was kind of just like staying people who she knew damn well that she was like expendable to, but she was also using them for like protection and like survival, like Crocodile. Yep, you know anything about Alabasta? Like you just gotta watch One Piece. One Piece is
watch One Piece, but that's what we want to connect to today's topic of asking for help.
Oh yeah, like literally when Robin's standing up on Ina's stuff, she's like, "Ikite,
weeb."
Fuck you. Don't worry about it. She's like, "Yeah, I want to live. Take me back to the seas with you," and all that stuff. Like that shit goes hard. And then literally once she says that, fucking Spondon's bitch ass.
Oh, bro,
that fucking dude, bitch of a nigga. Like not even a nigga. That just bastard ass.
You're giving too much credit.
Boy, Luffy's face right now is exactly how I feel about
Noted.
him.
Pissed.
Perfect time. And it's just like his little bitch ass when he's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" Like she's hunted by the entire world, and then Luffy's fucking ass is like, "All right, if the world's her enemy, Soge King, shoot down that flag."
But that's what we mean. Robin had help.
That flag got shot down. And guess what? Everybody was looking at his eyes, being like, "Hey yo, wait,
who is this guy?
What did you just do?
What did you do?"
You know that means war, right?
Exactly.
And he's like, I don't give
a shit. I'm helping my friend. And that's what we should talk about today. What does help or asking for help mean? And like in general, like asking for help as someone, you know, in general, guys struggle with asking for help, right? Like as a guy, you can say this as well. Telling someone that, hey, I need help in something is extremely hard to do.
Asking for help is not really something that's kind of like
taught to us.
Nor really expected.
Yeah. We're expected to figure it out.
Thug it out, bro.
Exactly. Thug it out. It's not
you ain't
fully how it
works.
Like, bro, what we think this is. Help comes in so many different forms. It doesn't just have to be like, oh, I solved your problem for you. That's not what help is.
Nah.
Help can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be subject dependent, right? It can literally just mean like asking someone for some help in a one situation. It could be asking for different things in different situations. But in general, it's just like, hey, I need some support, and there's nothing wrong with saying I need some support.
Absolutely nothing. Especially, I mean, honestly, that's kind of where you find your strength, being able to rely on like other people, especially the ones that you build your circle with. Because it's like we are social creatures, bro. It's like the narrative has been pushed too much that we gotta do things on our own, like independent, do all this. Like we need to get away from thinking that like ask for help is something bad or like something you should be ashamed of, because like no one can do everything by themselves. Like,
yeah, that's fully true.
It often takes a team to kind of like accomplish like that kind of like some kind of like insurmountable task that might be for like one person is kind of like easy for like hell, even like a team of 3. It just takes a few more bodies. It's not like even with raising a child, like even the term "it takes a village," like that shit's still very present and often. I mean, not as much because like the social spaces and villages, it's kind of like they're kind of taken away from that nowadays.
Exactly.
Like, hey,
I mean, hey, we can both
people,
talk about this as like Indian and like African knowledge of like there is a lot of this in like especially in India nowadays. If you go to India and you have a kid, everyone is going to help you. Your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, they're all going to come and be like, oh, we love this kid. Let's talk to him. Let's spend time with them. Let's take some care of them. That all happens. I'm sure you can attest to that in African villages.
I mean, it's not even just people that in your family. Like, hell, if you're if a kid's doing something kind of fucked up, even if they don't know you, or your kid, they're gonna smack the fuck out of that man.
They're gonna say something.
Not even just say something like
oh, I know.
And in those societies, like
it's seen
smacking
as
like it's still like it's kind of seen as discipline. So like if some kid's being like stupid, like they'll like straight up just like smack them.
Which we have opinions on.
I mean, it's not necessarily right, but like at least that's their way of
exactly. That's where their best way of handling. Exactly. But in general, it still gives.
That's like
ease.
That's like their society's way of like being like, oh yeah, it takes valor because like everybody like that's kind of like how they show their love for their own people. Honestly, but like it's kind of a fucked up way.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it helps, I guess.
Exactly.
It's better than being caught up with the police or like being killed by villagers because you're stealing from someone.
Yeah, villages have their issues, but in general, like you shouldn't feel like you're alone in a situation because that's never true. Why do we ask for help? It's never not acknowledge. It's never acknowledging weakness because asking for help is not a weakness. I think that's something we really need to break down because I think a lot of people feel that if they ask for help, they are weak in asking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why couldn't I do it myself? I know I've had that thought multiple times.
But like, we gotta start understanding. It's because we're young and we think that we're fucking Superman and shit. Yeah. That like, oh yeah, no, I should be able to do all this. Like, no.
That's not true.
It's just that like maybe the media has pushed it more so that like, oh yeah, all these successful people seem like they're like a one-man show. But truly, it's literally since for comp sci, I literally started seeing everything else like in terms of comp sci because like it's always the front end people that seem to get all the credit without realizing the back end, the ones that truly like optimize performance and do like there are back end shit that goes on
exactly
to create that front end. Like literally, what you see. There's a lot of work that came in.
There's so many
person
people
that's being portrayed as like, oh yeah, no, I'm the face of this. They ain't got shit to truly do with the process because like the process that was built by the entire team. Like there's multitudes of people that it took. Like, do y'all understand how many people it took to create a fucking cell phone?
Yeah, Microsoft. Like I said, Bill Gates.
Not even just a cell phone, a car.
Exactly.
The car took so many. Brains. Like there's so many pieces to the car. Like. Airbags, the crankshaft, like transmissions, like going from manual to automatic. The amount of people and brains it took to like change the narrative in terms of like what is a car and like performance and stuff like that. Like it takes like hell, even the internet. That like it took the internet is just a combination of just knowledge and like we're just all interacting with each other. Just that now it's kind of been perverted.
Yeah, that's like, unfortunately true. But in general, like as we're saying, like. Humans as a whole, we need other people. So in asking for help, that's just you being a normal human. I think a lot of men have had this idea for a while.
Look at this bastard.
What are you doing? Yo.
What's popping?
We're recording.
Pull up.
You leave?
You want to hop in?
I mean, yeah. If you want to hop in. Yeah. This is my brother. We are currently talking about asking for help. Do you have any opinions?
Don't worry, y'all. Y'all are not tripping. Exactly. They might look
similar.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, asking for help is one of the biggest issues that me personally, as someone within the field of science, has issues with.
Grab the mic.
Yeah, grab the mic.
Yeah, go for it.
As someone who is it.
Asking for help.
Yes,
sir. We did.
Majors here.
Exactly. We got 2 psych majors.
I got a mic on you, Aiden. here's another one. He's not physically in person, but he's on the phone. We got y'all are getting a treat now. It's two special guests.
Yes.
What's her face from Community? Britta is always talking about, psych major here.
I love Community and I love Britta from Community because she is me. As someone who has studied psychology,
and Jeff Winger.
No, you don't count. You changed majors. You
That's
fucking
also
betrayed.
I wanted money. I wanted money.
He betrayed us first. He betrayed me first.
You sell your soul to capitalism.
I'm already selling my soul to capitalism. I'm a comp sci major.
Then why did you fucking try to bitch out to fucking psych and then go back to
capitalism? It
capitalism?
was way easier.
Exactly. I understand, but you end up right back where you came from.
Capitalism is there's the entire field of psychology. One of the big three called
that's industrial. Yes, I'm well aware.
Industrialism became manufacturing, which we kind of pimped out.
Most, but make them
feel good about it being exploited. Oh, I know. I was working on that.
I was literally in the industrial organizational track until
same.
History.
Exactly.
Like that's what I was doing.
I agree. But anyway, back to asking for help. What are y'all's opinions?
Okay. So what I'm talking about when it comes to asking for help, all right, it is one of the hardest things within a STEM community to come out and be like, I need help. All right. It is absolutely one of the hardest
because STEM is like one of those biggest things where it's like you're supposed to thug it out, kind of like be on your own because everybody's kind of like competing with each other. It's like, hey, if I'm helping you out, I'm not truly helping. It's kind of I'm gonna try to fuck you over. That's the biggest thing, especially with, like when I was pre-med, those like the fucking like what do we call them for the fucking the no, not the fobs, like the fucking like not necessarily snakes, like the fucking like the bastards that essentially will try like put you down to like put themselves up in terms of like placement and shit like that. Like
and truly,
like honestly, I just call them scavengers. Like essentially, like they're like they will quite literally. It's like if you ask them for help, they will literally give you the false information just because they know that would help them place higher. Because like once you get to like the late stage people, yeah, we call them assholes.
For those people.
Exactly. The issue is a lot of the problems that come with a bio degree and with a STEM degree in general is with a kind of a view of yourself as you're better than a lot of people. Yes. Then you're better than a lot of other simple. You know, it's kind of the way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us simples. And you have to place yourself because you have this degree, because you have this knowledge ahead of these people.
So have you felt that like asking for help, specifically, being a STEM major, he is a med, he's going into pre-med. Oh yeah, he is pre-med. I mean, you have a bio degree. Do you feel that it is a gendered issue?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of the times, you're going to see, as someone in a STEM field, you're going to find that you're surrounded by females.
And also men who don't
and
men who
contain their ego.
Men who
in a surrounding of females who can do better than
both
them.
Gendered and like racialized. In a sense.
Yes.
Because like people from immigrant communities in the United States, specifically from like global southern countries like India, Pakistan, etc. Feel like they have they're given a certain sense of empowerment from their parents, like, oh, like you don't have the same troubles we
brown
do,
boys and their mamas,
like partition and stuff.
The wrong ones.
So where like they feel like they in a sense they're not like allowed to feel bad, like they're not allowed to struggle.
Yeah.
Right.
And it is absolutely a sense of like brown parents kind of pushing that fact of like male supremacy and kind of men being above women. Yeah. It is absolutely
what's funny?
One of those facts.
It's not even just brown people.
No, it's not.
It's very prominent in the brown community, but even white people,
there's a lot of women in STEM, but in the sense that like how we like as the public, American public, see science as like a rational, like very epistemological.
We see science as something to be debated.
Arts, which are very like feminized, like gender studies is like only women can be a gender studies major.
Armel said that we see science as something to just be debated, and that's it.
Science, like, I think we see science as like concrete fact, whereas like the liberal arts are like subjective, which is really
not every. See,
problematic.
I would love if everybody saw it as concrete facts, because that's like the main issue. Because like science would be like science supports so much, like even like climate change. There's so much science behind it, but people are like, oh no, like fake news and like all this other bullshit. I'm just like, bro, like what are we doing?
Well, that's a huge issue with like how like the culture around assessing the media. Like we were told in
That's the
school, like be
biggest part.
critical, have a critical mind. But I think sometimes we're like overly critical of the wrong sources. Like the things that we don't agree with, we're just like super critical of. Like, oh, like we nitpick it like crazy. The things that like especially like with the right, like how like but like things that like approve their own ego and their own beliefs, they just believe blindly, and that's why I guess like the essence of MAGA really is like they won't take that critical lens to their like their own party, right? And I think that's really like a huge root of the issue, because like people will like look at climate change and they'll like nitpick the fuck out of it. They'll be like, oh, what about this study and that study? How many people were involved? What countries? Like they'll like go insane. Like they see one fucking post about like climate change isn't real, and they just believe it wholeheartedly. They don't take any kind of critical lens to it because it's affirmed they already believe.
Yeah, no, you trying to relate MAGA with like critical thinking is kind of like just irony, because it's like it just like as much as I try to give them as much benefit of the doubt and try to educate these people, like as much as you try to like even when you show them the blatant facts, they still like their brains still find a way to like support the same thing that's just screwing them over for the past decades, and it's just like
really funny quote from like that Charlie Kirk dude today.
Dude, Charlie Kirk.
Dude who was like trying to debate him, and he was like running away from him.
Yep, I know exactly.
Just debated at like Cambridge.
Yeah, he did. He got his ass handed to him. It was so funny. And he, by the way, he tweets out like specifically cutting up the video to make himself look better. It's so funny. It's so obvious. It's so bad.
Truly, if you are listening to Charlie Kirk or you are seeing any of his shit, go and look anywhere that has his like uncut videos, because you will be taken on a ride of an idiot trying to push himself as someone who knows shit.
Yeah, and like this Charlie Kirk guy, like he made a comment like I saw today on Instagram. He was like talking about this liberal guy who wanted to debate him, and he was like, "Oh, I think he's on the intellectual path, quote unquote, and he'll become conservative."
Exactly.
And I'm like, putting conservative and like intellectual together
doesn't work.
Crazy.
It really doesn't.
When I think of like intellectual, I think of someone who like really not like there's a critical aspect to being intellectual, but there's also like an internal aspect. Like
exactly. Exactly, and actively trying to be better. Exactly, and like trying to.
I don't see that in conservatism. All I see is just ego and bias and hate. Really, I see like strong hate towards people who think differently. Like that's not intellectual.
Yeah, like hating specifically requires ignorance in some form. It really does, and I'm saying this as a hater. Right. I'm saying this as a man who hates a lot of things. Yes. I choose to be ignorant of certain things, and then specifically when it comes to hating in general, there are specific things that you can hate and you probably shouldn't. Where it's a thing of like, if you're hating a group in general, you're actively choosing to be ignorant. You're actively choosing to ignore other people.
Oftentimes when you choose to do something that's like that, it's because you oftentimes profit from it in some type of way, and you're trying to keep the like, you know, they're trying to keep that cash flow. Like you don't want it to dry up. You don't like when your well is flowing. It's like, hey, I like the status quo. Like, why are we trying to change it? That's how conservatives that's how conservatives came to be, and some of these pussy ass Democrats. Be like, y'all don't get this twisted. I don't side with none of these fuckers. I think it's all.
I think they fight for the same master. They need
to all be scrapped and restart.
Yep.
But
anyway, back to the subject at hand. Asking for help is absolutely a hard thing, as we have talked about in general, but like there can be good and bad versions of asking for help, right? There can be good help and there's bad help. Good help is in general a consistent type of help. kind but firm, and goal oriented. You want the help you're looking for to be something you're trying to grow from. Take it to learn and continue your personal growth. The person or tool you're learning from should be something you're choosing to pursue, not something that's forced onto you.
One of the biggest issues that I've seen with kind of a forced growth is understanding where you fall in to this forced growth, right? Because the biggest issue with religion that a lot of people have is where they fall in to that religion, right? I am lucky. I am absolutely lucky in that I fall into that kind of personage in my religion, right? That kind of like that sage that kind of like takes a look at shit. It's hard to do. It's not easy in any religion to kind of take a look at yourself. You know, that's exactly internalize look. That's hard in any religion. But that's a goal. You got to remember that that's the goal.
Self-actualization has always been the true goal. It's just that things like that's why I can't truly get behind religion nowadays because like it's been like it's all been perverted.
Exactly.
Like
Where
it's moved from like self-actualization
to money.
Yeah, literally like hey, support
us.
support the church,
Yeah.
support our ideals,
support what we want.
come to service to pay your respects in terms of provide your fucking offerings, and then we'll give you maybe like a half hour, maybe an hour service, and then
And that's one of my biggest issues with organized religion nowadays, especially as someone whose entire purpose has been to be like a push towards religion in my sense. Organized religion ends up being a push away from the true sense of that religion.
Don't get this twisted, y'all. Religion and beliefs are different. But you can believe whatever you want. You can believe in Catholicism, like Hinduism, Judaism,
anything.
like Islam. You can believe in whatever you want. It's just more so the term, like the actualization of like organized religion.
Yes.
That is what kind of like starts to like pervert the true meaning, like the true purpose of that religion in the first place. And that's where like things like politics start to get involved. And once things like that get involved in something that's supposed to be pure, it kind of becomes like no longer. It's like it's no longer what it's supposed to be.
And the reason we're bringing this up, we're it might be a rant, but we also want to connect this to the fact that bad help exists. There are ways to get help that don't help you, that might get perverted in these ways where it's like it's very forcible help. It forces you to do something you might not be fully comfortable to. It could be like something that waxes and wanes where you get help a lot of times, but then also when you need it, you might not be provided that help. When you don't need it, you are provided too much help. These things can happen where it's like a tutor or a teacher who's not actively working with you. These are versions of bad help that we want to talk about, and that we feel that a lot of people right now in this day and age look to religion as a form of help. And this might be something that might not always help you.
All right, Aiden, go out. Go for it.
Wait, what?
Talk whatever you need to say.
Oh, wait, well, can you remind me the question? Sorry, I was
the
doing
question
some
is
geometry.
simply like
It wasn't really a question. We're just more so talking about like how organized religion kind of like perverted the whole purpose behind the belief system. So like beliefs.
Yeah, I
beliefs
mean,
are-
so
believe-
like I'll
like
talk
you
from
said,
like
you
my
can believe-
personal
Oh, yeah.
experience here. So like I grew up in like the Protestant evangelical Christian faith. And then I obviously as you all know, I converted to Islam. And a big reason, I mean, I don't think every organized religion, the contemporary organized religion is is absolved from like fundamentalism or kind of corruption of the faith to serve like political means. But I would say like in Islam, like within like the mystical tradition, which has been very much lost today, I would say you find something that's very free from politics, specifically like fascism and stuff like that. And you find something that's way more pluralistic and something that is way more about improving your individual self, um, and something that I think is way more palatable for people who are hesitant about organized religion. Um, and I would say that like it's like really easy to demonize organized religion because see the things that organized religion does, like whether it's like Christian ethno-nationalism or Hindutva or Zionism, right? It's like super easy to like bash on organized religion.
People with like true faith nowadays.
Those things like are real, like for sure. But there's great things that can come from religion, but I think looking at your own spirituality and recognizing that you don't have to actually fall into a very strict category of like organized religion, especially in contemporary terms, because it was so much more flexible, a couple hundred years ago, and you didn't have to fall into like strict, rigid, nationalistic defined religion. Like Hinduism in India is defined by the nation state as being like a Vedic Hinduism, right? Which me and Gautham have talked a lot about. In the United States, Christianity, like, it's Protestant Christianity. Like Catholics aren't really considered in the Christian ethno state. Neither are Orthodox or Coptics or any of those other sects.
It's mostly
right?
Protestants. It's mostly Protestants.
Yeah, and within Protestant, it's really like Baptist, Methodist,
Baptists and Mormons.
Yeah,
as a whole,
exactly.
which are very, very, very patronizing to the religions.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, a lot of that is correlated with. Yeah, a lot of that is correlated with.
Saved.
Yeah, exactly. America's growth and things like that. Like, in general, we as America have been a Protestant country for a long time, but not in the way a lot of Protestants like to say. We might have had a Protestant supermajority, but we've always been a country of multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, even starting from the very beginning, when we had like Native Americans, who practiced their own animistic and various faiths, which I don't know too much about.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you had Muslim Africans who were enslaved coming. You had Africans who lived their own forms of animism, or later you'd get like the voodoo culture.
Yeah.
Right.
Voodoo and hoodoo.
Which would be a combination of like African animism with Christianity.
Exactly.
Kind of Creole religion of voodoo.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, you had Hindu indentured laborers coming over to the Caribbean under the British.
Yep.
So yeah, America's always been a place of multiple cultures, multiple religions, and you even had Thomas Jefferson kept a copy of the Quran very famously.
Yeah.
You had the Ottoman sultans would come to visit. I mean, that's actually how weed was introduced to America. Fun fact. So hookah is mostly associated with tobacco nowadays, but
we love some 420 history.
It's just a bong for tobacco.
That's so funny.
And then some really, really smart people found out you could put weed in the hookah and you could smoke it. So when the Ottoman delegates came to America and introduced people to smoking weed.
That's so funny.
It's like crazy. Really weed can burn too.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like so you had this long relationship with like other religious empires, like the Ottomans and the Barbary pirates and stuff like that. So yeah, even though like the white people of America were upper white class people of America were Christian in a certain sense. I mean, you also had like Ben Franklin was a transcendentalist who would probably be called a heretic nowadays.
Yeah, honestly.
So like you had like it was much more religiously diverse than we give America credit for, and I think that's honestly in part to support the idea of America as a Christian ethno state.
Exactly. And
to erase the and I'm doing a lot of work. So I'm part of a research initiative to uncover the lost stories of Muslims in the American South.
That's amazing.
And I think that those stories are a lot of times really suppressed, honestly, to posit America as this white Christian adventure from the British, as opposed to really it was much more composite. Even if those people weren't given the same rights as white Christians, those people were still here.
Yeah.
And there's no denying that. And I think it's a real point of insecurity for a lot of conservatives to possibly think that America there's Muslims here as long as there's been Christians here, and there's been Hindus here as long as there's been Christians here.
Like, you know what I think?
Jews here as long as there's been Christians here. I think that's a real point of insecurity for them.
Yeah. I don't know what you were saying.
Like, honestly, that kind of just goes, that just ties to like being truthful with ourselves.
Yep.
And like being able to understand what we're lacking, and that we can reach out and get help in places that we're not always looking to.
Exactly.
Like, oftentimes we don't really understand that these like religions are connected. Like, it's not like it's no like it's known that Islam, Christianity, Judaism, they all worship the same God. Yeah. They just believe in a different messenger, which is kind of like, why are we out here tripping over who's out here delivering the message? Like, do you understand what they're saying? Yeah. So it's like, and at the end of the day, it's kind of crazy that this is even happening in the first place. It's like, they all, if you truly understand the religion, it's like they truly believe the same thing that the other one believes. It's just that it's kind of been too commercialized to the point that it's become more of a story than like faith, and people are kind of like trying to debate the story rather than like truly understanding themselves within that story.
Exactly, and looking at the message.
Yeah.
And, you know, in general, when we ask for help,
that kind of goes to like essentially, like, this is like a major example, like echo chambers, like groups of people who like share that belief,
exactly,
thought process,
where you're only circulating the same knowledge and the same idea over and over and over again. And like, that's one of the main issues where when you ask for help, you want to get multifaceted conclusions. You want to have multiple people telling you or giving you an idea of what you're feeling.
It's more so about like having something like independent, nothing biased. Like, you want like the most unopinionated opinion that you can get, so you can truly help yourself to help others.
Yeah.
And absolutely, that's one of the
Yeah, and because, you know, I appreciate the religion, you know, in general, but, you know, we want to connect specifically back to asking for help.
I understand.
Yeah, no. So in general, when it comes to asking for help, and I want to thank both of you for coming in this conversation. Needing help is never a bad thing. Feeling that you're a failure or something like that for needing help isn't a bad thing, wherever that comes from. Look to your leaders, look to your religious leaders if you need it, look to your family leaders, look to anyone that you feel like gives you a feeling of, this is someone I can rely on. Ask those people for help.
People have absolutely gone through the same episodes that you have, that same hatred of themselves, that same feeling that they are not enough. I have absolutely gone through that.
Honestly, that just it's honestly just about growing up, because like when you're young, you don't understand anything. Like, once you start to get a little bit older, you start to see, like, once you start to like see like society, you start to like actually get involved in like, not necessarily politics, but like societal, like the things that impact people and like the people around you. Like, you start to truly understand that you're not, that what you do doesn't just affect yourself, it affects people around you. It kind of just ties to just like growing up and understanding that, hey, what I do has outcomes that you may not expect, but if you try to have the right intent and you know that what you're trying to do is a little difficult, asking for help is never a bad thing, because most things that any great thing that happened in this nation or any country was always done through a team or like a group of some sort.
Yeah.
And it's more so that nowadays we're kind of getting away from that, because with the media, it's kind of just like pushing the narrative like, hey, it's all the work of this one person. Exactly. It's like, no, like, yeah, maybe you might be the CEO of this company, or like you might be the leader of this organization, but it's the people behind you. It's like that union behind you that kind of like helped see that that dream of mission to fruition. Like, they were the ones that helped make that come true.
So we just want to say, in conclusion, the relief of receiving some long needed help is something that can truly make you happy and build some positive momentum that can only be beaten by momentum created by being the one who provided someone with that relief. If someone needs help, go help them. Don't feel like, oh, I need something from that. Just go help someone, because you might need help in that situation.
Sometimes it comes back to you as well.
Exactly. It comes back to you. Help can make you and others in your life happy. That's a good thing. And thank you for listening to this episode of the Common Podcast.